Congressman Tim Ryan of Ohio, who certainly wants to work at least 239 days a year. I know this gentleman. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight. Is there, you and I have been friends for a while. Is there any way you can come forth with a bill so I could get 239 days off and still keep my job? The irony in this is that the Republicans always talk about the private sector. They think the private sector is the answer for absolutely everything. I'd like to know who would keep their job in the private sector with 239 days off. What is happening here?
Well, first of all, Ed, we want to make sure you're working as much as possible to get your message out. But the bottom line is, we do work hard when we're back in our districts. There's no question about it. We do, my office, we do a lot of economic development issues, working with local businesses and trying to expand the economy, education programs and whatnot. So, but the reality is this schedule looks nothing like the Nancy Pelosi speakership schedule that we used to have. I mean, we were working 4 or 5 days a week, week after week after week, passing legislation, getting things done. So the only thing that concerns me more than us not being here is the fact that when we are here, we're not getting anything done, like the ENDA bill and other things that we should be passing here. We're not doing anything while we're here. Speaker
Boehner says that they're there to prevent bad laws from getting passed. What's your response to that?
Well, I mean, look at the Employee Non-Discrimination Act bill. We haven't even acted upon that. That's a good piece of legislation that supports the founding principles of our country, but no time to act on that. We need a transportation bill to get people back to work, reinvest back into the United States. We need a budget, for God's sake, and we can't even get a budget passed out of the House when the Senate has wanted to meet on one on numerous occasions.
But this is all part of the Republican obstruction to make sure they don't get anything done, isn't it?
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, you've got the Tea Party in the House of Representatives, and their sole purpose here is to burn down the government. And that means, sometimes through attrition and not acting and letting things, just kind of wither on the vine. And that's what's happening down here. So they're achieving their goal.
And so the schedule for 2014, I understand, is like 114 days of work. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and so much needs to be done. I mean, look at this in relation to where we are positioned historically in the United States. The competition around the globe is like it's never been before. The inequality is about as unequal as it's ever been in our country's history, but yet we are still not here in Washington, D.C. acting upon those issues.
So shouldn't this be a huge point being made by Democrats in the campaign of 2014? Boehner doesn't even want to work. All he wants to do is play golf. He talks about the president playing golf, but the numbers are the numbers. 239 days off. I mean, how often can you go back into your district? I mean, come on. You've got a feel for your district. So does everybody else. I mean, this is being manufactured by the conservatives to stop everything that President Obama would like to see passed.
No question. As much as our constituents back home want to see us in the district, at the grocery store, involved in local projects, they want us to be in Washington, D.C., making things happen on behalf of the country. No matter what little project you may be able to do back in your district, if the weight of the federal government, if the investments, the budget, the kind of gravitas that the federal government could bring to projects isn't there, it's hard to get things off the ground. And you're exactly right. Like I said, when Speaker Pelosi was in office, we worked
240 bills were passed, I believe.
240 bills, everything from Lilly Ledbetter to, universal health care and everything in between. An energy bill came out of the House. We were working hard. We took some hits along the way, but that's your job. You get elected to do things and then take the hits and hope they work out.
All right, Alabama loses. Ohio State goes to #2. They got Michigan State this weekend. If you beat Michigan State, and some people think that's a big if, should you be playing for the national championship?
We got a big, I hate to sound like a coach, we got a big game this week, and we're going to stay focused on Michigan State.
Tell them to play every play, will you? I mean, we kind of saw that this week.
Well, if we win this one, there's no doubt we should be there. No doubt.
Congressman Tim Ryan.
Go Auburn, too, Big Ed.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Tim Ryan from Ohio with us here on the Ed Show tonight.